Limbaugh. Earlier you heard some of what Rush Limbaugh disagrees with Senator John McCain about, but their disagreements don't end there.
As to other things that I disagree with on Senator McCain, I'll give you one right now, and it's a minor one. We're going through this Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac thing. We're going through the Wall Street problems and the accountability and so forth, and Senator McCain gave a speech in Green Bay today, and a couple days ago he said the same thing. And I understand the populist tendency here because people are upset to bash Wall Street and to join the chorus that Wall Street's corrupt and full of a bunch of people, but that's not the case. I don't think bashing Wall Street, when the Democrats are already doing that, is a way for Senator McCain to separate himself. What he ought to be doing is what he did in Green Bay this morning, which is actually attack the people responsible for the Fannie Mae disaster, and that's all Democrats. It's Chris Dodd, it's Barney Frank, it is Barack Obama, it's Franklin Raines, it's Jim Johnson, people associated with the Obama campaign. I understand the temptation to start ripping into Wall Street because people instinctively will fall into that so-called class envy susceptibility to this, but I think it's a mistake. I think he can distinguish himself better by attacking the people who are relevant. He's running against Democrats. He's running against Obama. He's running against Wall Street. The Wall Street, I don't know, we're going to close out today, but I'll tell you, Wall Street probably going to finish the week higher than when it started. This whole thing, imagine that. It's a lesson here to staying calm and cool. I also wish he hadn't thrown Chris Cox under the bus. The Securities and Exchange Commission guy saying he would have fired him. Cox has nothing to do with this. This is a tendency of Senator McCain's to look at himself as Teddy Roosevelt and take on anybody he thinks is a robber baron. And then I wish that he would tame some of that back and just focus on who he's really running against, the people trying to destroy him.
Rush, are you paying any attention to what's going on with Russia and Venezuela right now? Because nobody's talking about that in the context of this election. And I'm a little bit surprised at that.
I'm a powerful, influential member of the media. I'm paying attention not only to that, I'm paying attention to the Russians sending an anti-missile defense to the Iranians to guard against any kind of attack that might be mounted against them. I think I had a soundbite from Joe Biden from last year in 2007 when he was campaigning, and he said, this issue of national security, we cannot afford to have somebody who cannot throw down on the table an unmistakable list of qualifications. The reason you're not hearing about it, Greta, is because the drive-by media driving the news doesn't want to bring all this stuff up because Obama's not qualified for this. Obama has said the wrong things about dealing with these kind of enemies. He wants to bring them to the Oval Office without any preconditions and so forth. So it's not in the drive-by news, and I'm excluding Fox from that. It's not in the mainstream media because they're shielding any controversy that could redound negatively to Obama. But
now, you mentioned experience. I don't think anyone would disagree that both Senator Biden and Senator McCain have experience. There's been criticism of Senator Obama and Governor Palin on the experience. How do we, as voters, look at the experience question as it relates to Governor Palin and Senator Obama?
Well, here's how I would look at even the so-called experience of Senator Biden. What good is experience if you're wrong all the time? Senator Biden was wrong about surge. Senator Biden was wrong about the Gulf War in the early 90s. Senator Biden was wrong about the Iraq War now. So many times Senator Biden has gotten it wrong. Obama, we can judge his experience by his tendency to be critical of his own country. In Berlin, look what this guy, Greta, do you know that he went when his trip, his little intern trip this past summer, he went to Baghdad and he begged the Iraqi foreign ministry to delay any agreement to withdraw U.S. troops till after the presidential election. He was interfering in U.S. military diplomatic policy in violation of the law. McCain ought to be on this like white on rice. And here's Obama telling his supporters, we're going to get out of Iraq. We can't win there. I'm going to get out. First thing I'm going to do. He didn't want him out till 2011 or 2012. Now, the dirty little secret reason why is he wants to be able to claim victory. He wants to be able to claim it from George W. Bush. But this, and then they run into Berlin and say, my country has lost some of its luster or whatever. He said, we're not as great as we once used to be. That's enough to tell me that he has a negative enough opinion of this country, doesn't have enough faith in it as it exists, that he's not qualified. Biden's experience is he's wrong on so much, so what good is his experience?
All right, well, what about Governor Palin? Because we've got to look at that as well.
Oh, I did not mean to leave her out. I have ultimate confidence in Governor Palin and her ability to deal with things. She's going to be surrounded by a sea of advisors. Should McCain win, she'll be brought up to speed on this stuff very quickly for obvious reasons. But I look at her and I look at what she says on other issues. And she understands the greatness of this country. She understands American exceptionalism. She understands the threats that we face. You know, she gave more intelligent answers about what to do in Pakistan than Obama has. She has answered those questions that Charlie Gibson asked her about foreign policy in a far more competent and a sensible way than Obama did when he was asked about these questions earlier on these various places in the country. So I think there's a straw dog, the lack of experience, Sarah Palin. They've just got to attack her on something. They're attacking her for giving birth to a Down syndrome child. It's really amazing to watch people who supposedly have all the compassion in the world, love women, women's rights and all this, try to destroy her. It's like they try to destroy Clarence Thomas. Ain't going to work, but they're trying it. That's who they really are. She and McCain have brought out who the liberals really are. They're no longer disguised, no longer wearing a mask because they're so frustrated, and nor are their media associates and accomplices. So this is a great thing for the American people to see. We now know who's on which side with total clarity about it.